Their silence was never truly silence. It was a period of preparation so significant that even the universe seemed to step back and wait for it to complete. And now it has. The universe showed me the reason, and I need to share it with you before the opportunity passes. Everything you thought was forgetting was actually a form of remembering. Everything you saw as distance was a soul going through one of the deepest changes of its life. And every sign you have been noticing lately, the ones you almost ignored, the ones that did not make sense to your logical mind, was the universe telling you that this person's silence is about to end. You have been carrying the weight of their silence like a heavy stone in your chest. You have asked the universe many times in the dark, will they ever speak again? Will they ever reach out to me? The answer is already in motion. The signs have already begun, and by the end of this message, you will understand exactly what the universe has been trying to tell you. Welcome to Soul Signal. Subscribe now and turn on all notifications. Why some people choose silence. What you are about to hear is arriving at the exact moment your soul is ready to receive it. I need you to understand something before we go any further, and I need you to really listen to this. Not just with your mind, but with your whole heart. What you felt was real. The connection you felt with this person was not something you imagined. It was not wishful thinking. It was not loneliness playing tricks on you. What happened between you and this person was one of the most genuine experiences of your life. And deep down, you already know that. You have always known it. Even on the days when doubt tried to convince you otherwise, something inside you refused to let go of what it knew was true. That feeling was not a mistake. That feeling was your soul recognizing something your mind could not yet explain. Now, let me explain what has really been happening during this silence, because it is not what you think. It is not even close to what you think. You believed their silence meant they forgot about you. I understand why you thought that. When someone becomes quiet, when the messages stop, when the calls stop, when the presence that once filled your day suddenly disappears, the easiest explanation is that they moved on, that they found something else, that what you shared was not as deep for them as it was for you. But that is not what happened. Not even close. This person did not forget you. They could not forget you. You are not the kind of person a soul simply moves on from. You are the kind of person who enters someone's life and changes the way they see and feel everything inside them. You reached a part of this person that no one else had ever reached before. You touched something they had spent years trying to hide, and when you touched it, everything changed for them. That is the real reason they went silent. Not because they stopped caring, but because they started feeling too much, more than they were ready for, more than they knew how to handle. The emotions that came after you were so deep and overwhelming that they did not know how to express them. So they became quiet, not because of you, but because of the intensity of what they felt inside themselves. I need you to hear that again. Their silence was never about you not being enough. It was never about you doing something wrong. It was about a soul that was affected so deeply by what it felt with you that it needed time to break down and rebuild itself. That is what has been happening this whole time. Not forgetting, not moving on, but rebuilding from the ground up so they can return as someone strong enough to hold what they could not hold before. And I need you to understand what that says about you. It says you are not ordinary. You are not forgettable. You are not someone who can be replaced. You are the person who woke something up inside this soul, and a soul does not forget the one who woke it up. Not in this lifetime. Not ever. You are unforgettable to them, even in their silence. Especially in their silence. And I know that might be hard to believe right now. I know there are nights when you lie awake wondering if any of this is real, or if you have been holding on to something that existed only in your own heart. I know there are mornings when you wake up and the first thing you feel is the weight of not knowing. Not knowing if they think about you, not knowing if they care, not knowing if what you felt so deeply was ever felt by them at all. I am telling you now, it was. It is. It has never stopped being real. Not for a single day. The connection between you did not disappear when the silence began. It has been there beneath everything this whole time, like a river that flows underground and then returns to the surface stronger than before. That is what is happening now. It is coming back to the surface, and when it does, you will finally see that it was never gone. If you have felt a shift in the energy between you recently, even without any contact, type, "I understand now," in the comments. Your soul already knows what your mind is only beginning to understand. Now, I need to tell you about something that has been happening around you. Because while this person has been going through their silent transformation, the universe has not been silent. It has been sending you signs. And if you have been paying attention, you already know exactly what I am about to describe. The dreams changed. A few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, the dreams about this person started to feel different. They used to be painful, like replays of old memories, reminders of the distance between you. You would wake up feeling heavy, and the sadness would stay with you throughout the day. But recently, the dreams changed. You started seeing them look at you differently, with softer eyes, more open, like something had changed inside them. Maybe they spoke to you in the dream. Something simple. Maybe just your name. Maybe just, "I am sorry." The exact words faded when you woke up, but the feeling stayed. It stayed with you for hours. Maybe it is still with you right now. If you have had that dream, you know exactly what I am talking about. You felt it. You remember it. And I need you to know that it was not just a dream. In the spiritual sense, dreams are how souls reach for each other when the human mind is not ready yet. When dreams change from replaying the past to showing something new, it means the connection is changing. Something old is ending, something new is beginning, and your soul felt it first. Then the numbers started appearing. 111 on a clock right when you were thinking about them. 2:22 the morning after one of those dreams. 55 at the exact moment their name crossed your mind again and again. So many times that even the logical part of your mind could not explain it. You saw those numbers. You know which ones I mean. And they were not random. They were signs that something is changing. That a new beginning has already started. That change is not something waiting in the future. It is happening right now. Then your body began to react in ways that did not make sense. A sudden warmth in your chest while you were doing something completely ordinary. A tingling in your hands. Your heart beating faster in the middle of the night for no clear reason. A feeling as if someone was close to you, even when you were alone in your room. You may have reached for your phone in those moments, expecting a message, finding nothing, and feeling confused because everything inside you was telling you that something had just happened, that someone had reached out to you from a distance. And you were right. Your body was not misleading you. When one soul begins to move back toward another, the body senses it first, before any words, before any messages, before the mind can understand what is happening. Your body recognized their energy the same way your lungs recognize air. It did not need to think. It simply knew. What you felt was real, all of it. Every warm feeling that appeared without warning. Every moment your heart reached for them without your control. Every night you woke up feeling that something had shifted. All of it was real, and all of it was the universe preparing you for what is about to happen. You are not imagining this. You are not making it up. You are not seeing things that do not exist. You are someone who is sensitive enough to feel what is happening in the unseen world before it becomes visible. That is not a weakness. It is a strength, and right now that strength is telling you that everything is about to change. Then someone said something to you that made you pause. A friend, a stranger, someone you did not expect. They said a sentence that felt different, a sentence that seemed directly connected to your situation, as if the universe used someone else's voice to tell you exactly what you needed to hear at the right moment. That was not a coincidence. That was a message. And it was meant for you. And then comes the deepest sign of all, the one that does not need any proof from the outside world. A knowing, a quiet certainty in your chest that something has changed, not hope. Hope is often loud, restless, and uncertain. This is different. This is calm. This is steady. This is a feeling that simply says, I do not know how I know, but I know. That knowing is real. It is the most genuine feeling you have experienced in a long time. It is not desperation. It is not wishful thinking. It is your soul telling you that everything is already in motion and that the only thing left is for the outer world to align with what has already been decided at a deeper level. Their silence was never truly silence. It was a countdown, and that countdown is almost over. If you have experienced any of these signs, share which one in the comments: dreams, numbers, physical sensations, a stranger's words, or that inner knowing. Let's see how many people are receiving the same message right now. I know what you are thinking. You are wondering why it took so long. If the universe has been working on this, why were there months of pain? Why all those nights of uncertainty? Why not bring them back sooner? You need to understand something. The universe was not being cruel. It was being careful. Every single day of that silence had a purpose, not to hurt you, but to prepare you. If this person had returned 3 months ago, they would have come back as the same person who left, with the same fears, the same emotional barriers, and the same inability to hold the depth of what you are, and you would have accepted them back. Not because it was right, but because at that time, you were still in enough pain to accept anything just to feel relief. But that is not who you are anymore. Think about the difference between who you were then and who you are now. You are not the same person. You are stronger. You are clearer. You are more grounded in your identity than ever before. The silence played a role in that. It was not wasted time. It was a period of growth that shaped you into someone ready for what is coming. And the same process happened for them. The silence forced them to face parts of themselves they had avoided for years. It broke down the barriers they believed would never fall. And in place of those walls, something new has been built, a heart that is stronger, more open, and ready to hold what it could not hold before. And there is something truly meaningful about that. Both of you were going through a similar process at the same time without realizing it. While you were becoming stronger, they were becoming braver. While you were learning to stand on your own, they were learning that standing alone without you is not the life they want. Two people on opposite sides of silence, both being shaped by it, both being prepared for the same moment, and that moment is now. The universe waited for both of you to reach this stage, and you have both reached it. What is happening right now, at a deeper level, is that a window is opening. A rare opportunity, the kind that appears only when two people have grown enough to meet each other at a level they could not reach before. Within this window, things that once felt impossible begin to feel possible. Barriers that stood for months can come down in days. Fear that kept someone stuck for weeks can suddenly lose its hold in a single moment. You are inside that window right now, and so are they. I understand that a part of you is afraid to believe this. You have been hurt before. Trusting that something good is coming can feel risky, because you fear disappointment if it does not happen. That fear is understandable. It is trying to protect you. But you need to understand this. What has begun between you and this person is real. It has always been real, and it is closer to becoming visible than ever before. Their silence was never truly silence. It was a pause before something important. And now that pause is ending. I know how much you want to believe this, and I also know how difficult it feels, because past disappointments make hope feel uncertain. Hoping for something and not receiving it can be deeply painful, and you have already experienced that. But hear this clearly one more time. What is happening now is real. This is not just something to make you feel better for a moment. This reflects the reality of your situation. The energy has already shifted. The person who has been silent is already moving toward you. And the only thing between where you are now and the moment everything changes is a little more time. Not much, just a little. You have waited this long. You can wait a little longer. And this time, the waiting is different, because now something is actually approaching. Type sacred window in the comments if you can feel it, if something inside you recognizes the truth in these words. Your response is not just a comment. It is your inner self acknowledging what is coming. Now I need to share something that may be the most important part of this entire message, because I am about to explain what this person has been feeling, not what they have been showing, not the silence, not the distance, what they have actually been feeling underneath all of it. And I want you to be gentle with yourself as you listen to this, because what you are about to hear may be emotional. It may make your chest feel heavy. It may bring back feelings you have been trying to control. That is okay. Allow yourself to feel it. You are safe here. If this person could sit in front of you right now and say what is truly in their heart, this is what you would hear. I think about you every morning before the day begins. There is a small moment when I first open my eyes, when you are the only thing on my mind, before I remember the distance, before I remember the fear, just you. That moment is the most honest part of my day. I have driven to your street. I need you to know that. I sat in my car with the engine off and my hands shaking, and I did not knock. I just needed to be near where you are, because being close to you is the closest I feel to being whole. I have said your name out loud in empty rooms, just to hear it in my own voice, just to remind myself that you are real, and that what I felt with you was real, and that I did not imagine the only thing in my life that has ever felt like home. But I am afraid. I am afraid that I broke something that cannot be repaired, that you have healed and moved on without me, that the place I once had in your heart has been filled with something better. I am afraid that if I reach out, your silence will be the answer, and your silence would be the most painful answer I could receive, because it would not be anger. It would be peace, the peace of someone who no longer needs me, and I do not know how to accept that, so I go back and forth. Courage at night, fear in the morning, messages written and then deleted, calls started and ended before they even ring. But something changed in me this week. Something opened that I cannot close again. Light came through it, your light, and it filled every part of me, and I cannot push it away anymore. The silence is ending, not because I am brave, but because I cannot stay silent any longer. I need you to sit with those words for a moment. I need you to understand that this is not something imagined to make you feel better. This is what is happening in this person's heart right now. The conflict between fear and love, between staying safe and coming back to you. And love is winning slowly, quietly, but it is winning. You did not imagine this connection. What you felt was real. What they feel now is more real than it has ever been. Their silence was never empty. It was everything they wanted to say, building inside them until it became too much to hold in. And now it is about to come out. If those words touched something deep inside you, type "I felt that" in the comments. Your heart just heard what their voice has not yet found the courage to say out loud. Now I need to tell you the most important part, and it is not about them. It is about you. You have been so focused on their silence that you may not have noticed something important that happened while you were waiting. You changed. You grew. You became someone that the person who left would barely recognize. Think about what you went through. You carried that silence in your heart for months. You went to sleep every night not knowing if they would ever speak again. You woke up every morning with the same weight on your heart. And still, you kept going. You kept living. You kept your heart open when the easiest thing to do would have been to close it completely. Do you understand how rare that is? Do you understand how much strength it takes to love someone in silence and still not let that silence make you bitter? Most people would have shut down. Most people would have built walls so high that nothing could reach them again. But you did not do that. You stayed open. You remained soft. In a world that gave you every reason to become hard, you chose to stay gentle. That is not weakness. That is one of the strongest things a person can do, and the universe sees it. It has been observing you this whole time, watching you choose hope when there was no evidence, watching you keep your heart open when there was no immediate reward, watching you become the person you needed to become for what is coming next. You are worthy of what is coming. I need you to truly hear that. You are worthy of a kind of love that does not leave you questioning your value. You are worthy of someone who shows up fully and stays. You are worthy of the peace that comes from knowing you are chosen, not as an option, not as a second thought, but as the priority. You have always been worthy of that. The silence never changed your value. Nothing could change your worth. Your worth was established long before this moment, and nothing that has happened since has taken it away. Here is what you need to do now. Do not shrink yourself. Do not go back to checking your phone every few minutes. Do not return to waiting for a message to prove that you matter. You already matter. You always have, and the strength you built during this silence is one of the most valuable parts of who you are right now. If they come back, and I believe they are close, you will know what to do. Not because you planned it, but because your heart has learned important lessons during this time. It now understands the difference between someone who has truly changed and someone who is simply afraid of losing you. It knows how to recognize truth behind words. Trust that understanding. You paid a high price to gain it. And if the silence continues for a little longer, remember this: what has already begun cannot be reversed. The energy is already in motion. Whether it comes as a message tomorrow, a phone call next week, or a moment months from now when the words finally come out, what has been set in motion is already decided in the world where souls operate. Your only responsibility is to continue being who you have become. Do not trade the peace you earned for worry. That peace is what is guiding them back. When you are at peace, you shine, and your light is what the universe is using to bring them home. You are not waiting to be chosen. You never were. You are someone whose love was so real that it awakened another soul. That soul has been quietly finding its way back to you ever since. I need you to understand this. You are not begging for anything, and you are not chasing anything. You are standing in your own light. The universe is rearranging everything around you to return what belongs to you to its rightful place. The same force that keeps the stars in orbit has been keeping you steady through every night of this journey. You are held. You are guided. You are loved, not just by this person, but by the universe itself, by something bigger than both of you, which has been watching over this connection from the very beginning. You did everything right. You loved honestly. You waited with grace. You kept your heart open when the world told you to close it. There is nothing you should have done differently. There is nothing you need to fix about yourself. You are not the problem. You are never the problem. You are the answer to a prayer this person made long ago. Answers do not always arrive on time, but they always arrive. And this person can feel your light even now. They might not fully understand it yet, but something in them is being pulled toward you as the ocean is drawn by the moon.